I've lived in Guelph since about 1968. My husband was a professor at the university.
My dad was one of the 8 people who were part of the original planning committee for the Arboretum and had a vision of what the space could become and why it was important.
This is a wild space you can explore that is a 15-minute walk from the U of G bus loop. People from the community here come every day to walk their dogs, to enjoy the outdoors, to enjoy this green space. That's really inherently valuable. Being around trees and plants, I think it does positively impact people's mental health.
It's just a beautiful place to be. It's so calming as well. It calms your mind, takes away the stresses. When you need that mental health break and you need to kind of reconnect, in Guelph we have this here and we can access it at any time.
The Arboretum has been a big part of my life. I went to the university and discovered it then. I brought my children here. My father was an arborist, so I appreciate the different varieties of trees.
My youngest daughter started working there when she was about 15. She said the other day, it's amazing how it's made her life complete.
As we were growing, we saw the Arboretum growing. And the Arboretum was often discussed at the dinner table. And so it really felt like it was almost another sibling.
My dad would sit on a bench and I'd wheel my mom on her wheelchair through the Ivey Trail. And in those days, it was muddy, narrow, a lot of roots. And it was a real challenge for me to move her. So she and I were walking through it one day and my mom said, you know, I'd really like to give a bench or a tree to the Arboretum when I pass. And I'm like, Mom, you're an advocate for disability, so let's think of something that would be more appropriate for you. She thought about an upgrade of the trail to be more accessible.
It has made us realize that there's many people who are disabled and can't get to spots like the Arboretum to enjoy it because of their mobility issue.
I could go to the conservation area, but I just find it more accessible here.
I actually was recovering from a leg injury and was still able to access the space, go on the walks, even in winter. So it's accessible, it's safe.
Improving the main trail, making it wider, making it safer to traverse with a mobility device. It's perfect, really.
The Arboretum positively impacts our community as it creates a safe space for people to engage with nature. And we try our hardest to make sure that people know this is a safe space for everybody.
It's so beautiful and peaceful. And I also really like walking on the trail here because it reminds me of my mom.
The Arboretum for me facilitates comfort, it facilitates learning, it facilitates knowledge sharing. It taught me how to reflect properly in nature and how to reflect on who I am as a person and my position within this context.
I think the Wall Customs Memorial Forest has brought people here to honor and respect, remember their loved one, and made them aware of the Arboretum.
It helps me to balance my spirituality on one hand and also my appreciation of the efforts of ecologists and scientists and everyone that has ensured a place like the Arboretum.
It's remained a gathering place for friends, families, relatives. We've attended weddings and funerals, and my own dad's retirement celebration was there. We've benefited from things that have taken place at the Arboretum Center.
There's educational programs put on by people at the Arboretum Center. Bird watching is a favorite pastime for many people, and you can certainly do that here.
A lot of university campuses are pretty much made of buildings. The university is lucky that we have the Arboretum. It gives us a connection with the university as well, which is a prominent player in our community.
The Arboretum kind of speaks differently to different people.
It's awesome that we're able to make a space where we can grow and plant stuff that was very important to Indigenous peoples for a really long time, and hopefully people can learn from what we're growing here, and hopefully students can get a chance to learn from, you know, the plants and the staff here and the elders.
We also preserve genetic diversity of plants, which is extremely important to Ontario. It's extremely important to the broader society that we live in.
What I really like about it is that there are forested areas where you can go for a hike and just feel like you're completely alone in the woods, but then you're also able to enjoy gorgeous landscaping, as well as the gardens and the fountains.
Check out the Italian garden, check out the Japanese garden. They're gorgeous, manicured areas. Check out the boardwalk in Wild Goose Woods. Me personally, I love that boardwalk. I love looking at all the critters in the ponds. I love being in that forest. It's a really special place for me.
For folks that are living in the city, they do have this retreat, this oasis that they're able to come to. And so from a community standpoint, I think spaces like this are important.
How lucky is the university in Guelph, and how clever to have preserved this space. Look at the abundance here. It's phenomenal.